Hey everyone, Simon here from the Modern Awakened Perspective, your map for the path to enlightenment, and got a couple more stories for you here again today. Always something in the news that I'd like to talk about, it seems. So before I get into this first story, as usual, I'll ask everyone to please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. That way more people can find the content down the road. Also, with YouTube's new policy where they won't be recommending the kind of videos I make to anyone, if you hit the notification bell, you'll at least get notified when I put out a new video. Okay, let's get into the first story here. This is about Representative Ilhan Omar is her name, from Minnesota. She's actually been in the news quite a bit recently for several things, but mostly the story has been focused on her comments, anti-Semitic comments. She's been complaining about Jewish people actually using their money to bribe politicians, basically saying that they are giving money directly to politicians, you know, rather than going through the appropriate channels or whatever. And she's also complaining about the PACs, political action committees, and how they use their money, and how you know, they shouldn't be giving this money out, and these politicians shouldn't be accepting this money. And so she's been in a little hot water and has had to even apologize, which was kind of a half-hearted apology. And what's interesting is that although she's, you know, so against this kind of policy, she's been taking money herself from political action committees. Not only that, the particular committee that she took money from, which I have a problem with, is one called CAIR. I think it's C-A-I-R, and this is an organization which has been known to fund terrorism. In fact, they were on trial in America for funding terrorism, and it was the largest trial of its kind in American history. So not only is this a ridiculous double standard, she's complaining about other people getting money, and she's complaining about you know, Jewish people specifically getting in hot water for that. She's taking money herself from an actual terrorist group. This is just how much more hypocrisy can there be? Now, my actual point for making this video has nothing to do with that. That's just why she's been in the news over the last week or so. Today I find out that she has committed immigration and marriage fraud for marrying her own biological brother. Yes, you heard me right. She married her own biological brother in 2009, about 10 years ago. She did that. You know, I don't know how, you know, how this even took place, but she was allowed to do this. And of course, at the time, he was a British citizen, but he was able to move right over here and become an American citizen after that. So she knowingly committed fraud, and yet she went on to become elected. And she was elected in November of 2016 as the representative for Minnesota, or one of the representatives from Minnesota. And you know, not long after being elected and sworn in, this story had a little bit of traction. And of course, at that point, she tried to deny it or sweep it under the rug, shall I say. And she said that she actually filed for divorce when this story started to get a little bit of notice. So how she's not being prosecuted for immigration and marriage fraud, not only did she do that, you know, to get someone granted access to the country, she married her own brother. I don't know how this story can fly. I don't know how she's still able to have a position or ever even got elected. So you may agree with me or disagree with me. The comment section is open, but that's the story from my perspective.